I would love to know if Vic was in talks about a director job that he was basically assured he was going to get. So he makes a move to Dallas because if he's a director, he's probably going to have to come into the studio more and more. As an employee of Funimation, he would actually have to go to the offices. I'm basing this on a lot of inference based on facts that I have been presented, based on a factual scenario that I've been presented, okay? I don't know this. I haven't gotten this from Vic, and I can't tell you the sources that I've accumulated this facts from. But bear with me. If Vic was going to get a director role, suddenly it makes sense for him to move from LA to the Fort Worth area, or Dallas-Fort Worth area, where Funimation is, right? Suddenly that makes sense because he could keep recording from his own studio in LA. No reason to change. All his friends are in LA or whatever, except for his friends at Funimation. He moves. He's going to get a director role, which means he's going to stick around for a long time. And these guys don't actually like him. In fact, just a month or two before, they had tried to get him removed from Broly. Unsuccessfully. Now, the opportunity presents itself before he's a director to knife him in the back.
There are many things that are now beginning to come out into the light, not only by Funimation, but the voice actors involved with Funimation, such as Christopher Sabat and Sean Schemmel, and the entire fandom is going crazy in the fact that after the audio leaks have occurred, courtesy through Nick Rekieta's live stream, many people now are either attacking or defending the stances of the audio either having to be used in good humor or in a derogatory-like fashion, to where people now are beginning to point the finger at one another, as today we are going to be taking a look at everyone on Twitter who's going absolutely crazy in defending the fact that this is okay, especially after firing Vic for having to accuse him of similar actions. As once more before we begin, if you are new to this channel and want to be kept up to date with all things involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, Ron Toye, and many of the news and updates involving the Vic Mignogna case, then be sure to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single upload. Be sure to go on ahead and slap a like down below by giving this video a big thumbs up if you guys do stand with Vic, as well as making sure to check out and subscribe to my main channel over at Unreal and Gaming, to where there you guys will be able to find lots of anime and Dragon Ball content that you guys will not get to find on here. And follow me at Twitter at Unreal and Gaming to stay connected with me at all times. And if you have anything you would like to share or tag me in involving Vic Mignogna or any of the parties involved in this case, then be sure to go on ahead and follow me at Twitter. Now, to kick things off, Terez27 took it upon herself to go on Twitter and actually post something from Yellow Flash's YouTube video, in which Peter Kelamis himself went on to post a very interesting tweet, as Terez went on to state, and I quote, "Schemmel thread on the DBZ Reddit. Stands piling on with BS rumors that Schemmel prevented Funimation from using Peter Kelamis for Goku Black. Idiots don't realize that Schemmel did Black because Nozawa did Black. Copy Vegeta was voiced by the voice of Whis. Of course, it's these goons," as Peter Kelamis himself went out to tweet out, now this is interesting because there perhaps is something that Peter Kelamis knows that idiots like Terez don't, and many of us within both communities for I Stand With Vic and Kick Vic, and the only person that would know anything about Schemmel having someone banned in playing the role of Black or anything like that would be Funimation, Peter Kelamis, and Sean Schemmel, right? So what the hell does Terez know, right? Of course Terez has every right to a certain opinion, but not if people are beginning to question the fact if Sean Schemmel had done such a thing in putting Peter Kelamis out of playing Goku Black in Dragon Ball. Whether or not that's a fact, we don't know, right? We're not Sean Schemmel, we're not Peter Kelamis, but every side has a story. Sean Schemmel has a story, and I'm fairly certain that Peter Kelamis also has his side of the story, right? But Terez is coming out and putting lots of people into question. Yellow Flash, Emish's Live, along with many other people that are beginning to ask the question if this is true or not. For me, I'm not sure, but I find it most interesting how Terez is going out calling people stans and insulting their intelligence when she herself doesn't know a damn thing on what's going on behind the scenes, not unless of course she heard it from both Sean and Peter. Both parties, not just one, that way she has a concept of what the hell actually happened, but nonetheless, a lot of people were really upset at many of the voice actors that Nick Rekieta had put out in having behind the scenes audio leaked from the actual voice actors that made references to incest and many other things. Now, to me, I don't think that someone should be scrutinized and punished, or at least have this cancel culture come about just over simple jokes. Of course, I think out of the bunch, Chris Sabat's was the worst because he has a full production with the Bruce Falconer score in the background, so that one was a little weird, but in the end you have to separate the art from the artist, right? I do enjoy the Dragon Ball Z dub. I'm not gonna sit here and be a hypocrite and say that I don't enjoy the dub. I really do enjoy the dub, except for Chris Sabat's Vegeta in Super. I think that Chris Sabat's Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z, not Kai or Super, his portrayal of Vegeta in Z was a lot better to me, but that's my own subjective opinion. I'm not going to crap on the dub because the dub is, well, the dub, right? You have to separate the art from the artist. Now, when it comes to the actual artist, do I agree on what they said? No. Do I agree with what they do? No. You have to keep it professional, especially when you have a fan base. Now, this was done in private, so to have this leaked is a bit unfair, but nonetheless, the point here is they got rid of Vic because of the fact that they asserted the idea that having all of this go down within the workplace is wrong, right? So touching hair, giving hugs, and even, making remarks about jelly beans is wrong, right? But yet at the same time, these people are allowed to go behind the scenes and clown about these kinds of things, right? They're talking about all kinds of body parts, they're talking about all kinds of predatory type things, and yet it's okay for them to not go unpunished. That's weird to me. Now, I personally don't think that Funimation should lose the license to Dragon Ball, but I do think that the actors ought to be reprimanded for this, especially when they're trying to uphold, and they should uphold, a public image to where they don't go around saying these things. Even if it was in private, it's still kind of weird to hear people say that, especially when they're your childhood heroes. And Nick actually went out there to show this in the fact that it's hypocritical for Funimation to get rid of Vic for said things after the fact that it came out that Vic was supposed to be a director according to Nick, so that's really weird. They got rid of Vic because of his future position of being a director within Funimation. That's something that I found to be very interesting if that ends up being true, but the point here is the fact that you can't get rid of a man for having to give out hugs and just simply touch a person's hair when behind the scenes during your recording sessions you're going out of your way to say things like this.
Well, I wouldn't keep anything from my fans. Not even this gorgeous.
I do have one more request. It has to do with our training regime. Will you guys suck me off until I come all over your faces?
And don't get me wrong, as funny as it is, it's very ironic in the fact that you want to go on ahead and blame Vic for having to make people feel uncomfortable and being very, quote, inappropriate in the workplace. Meanwhile, you go off and do that. How hypocritical is that? So again, if there was any other time, I would encourage you guys to share my videos and leave a like on the video and subscribe. This is the moment because we have more. Terez actually tried to defend all of this by going back on Twitter and having to quote, "Really, dude? Is that all you got? You want Toye to get upset about bad English words? Be real, man. Sure, we care about slurs more than you do. We'll address it in a healthy manner at the appropriate time, but we've got priorities, my dude." What? How hypocritical is that, right? If this was Vic, if Vic came out and he did or said any of these things, this idiot would be the first one to go on Twitter and spew her intellectual diarrhea on the masses and how much she feels like he's a monster and how wrong he is. But the minute it's done to those that favor her or the people that she sides with, all of a sudden, oh no, I'm going to do this at an appropriate time in a healthy manner. Do you see what I'm saying? It's dumb. It's hypocritical. Why aren't you addressing it now? If you really care about slurs more than others, why aren't you addressing this now? right now. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? So the minute their favorites actually get pointed out and having to have irrefutable audio evidence in the idea that they're going around saying these things, people that support them all of a sudden, like Terez, are saying, no, it's okay, we've got priorities. What's your priority? To further slander Vic? To further call out the entire fandom that stands with Vic as idiots and stands? When you're one of the biggest idiots on that side, you're one of the biggest idiots in the Dragon Ball community, and you're an absolute joke, not just in the Dragon Ball community now, but within the entire fandom as a whole. Terez is a joke, and her intellectual stances are completely invalid, because she literally stands on no proof, no shreds of evidence, but instead plays doggy in having to follow whatever Greg and whatever Dominique and any of these other idiots are saying on Twitter. And even when they don't provide any evidence, she still sides with them anyway. Meanwhile, the other side provides proof, audio, video, pictures, convention videos, all of that, but that doesn't matter now, does it? Which by the end of this, I'm going to leave you guys off with some of the audio clips having to be played on Nick's stream, but again, I do want to get your thoughts and feedback in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Once more, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, guys, and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything going on. Thank you all so much for your support. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, follow me at Twitter at UnrealNetwork. If you guys have anything to tag me and if you guys have anything to share with me, then be sure to follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to my main channel, guys, over at UnrealNetwork. That link and many other links will be located down in the description box below. I would really appreciate you guys to subscribe to that channel, turn on all notifications, and join me as we discuss Dragon Ball gaming, and even occasional vlogs. So again, subscribe to UnrealNetwork, subscribe to this channel, and with that being said, I'm going to close things off with the following clips, and you guys can leave your thoughts down below as to what you guys think. Take it easy, guys.
A reason that didn't exist before, and suddenly 10-year-old things that didn't matter literally, a month or two before matter a whole lot, and a jelly bean joke matters a whole lot more than saying hard-ons and corner your vagina. Suddenly a jelly bean joke matters more than all of that. Suddenly a jelly bean joke matters more than Chris Sabat doing a 4 3/4 minute audio drama of gay and incest and child. Like, suddenly a jelly bean joke matters more than that. The question has always been why. I present to you a possible theory that these people were jealous of Vic and he was about to be cemented into his role. Now, I've heard a possible reason why they didn't want him to voice Broly. I don't know if this is true. It doesn't matter if it is. It's not better if this is true. A possible reason they didn't want him to voice Broly, or at least an excuse that they tried to use, which I've heard they've used on other voice actors like Stephanie Nadolny, who I hear, Stephanie Nadolny, who did she voice? She was, let's see. Now, I've heard a couple reasons why Stephanie Nadolny was fired, but what was her, Goku, young Goku, right? Stephanie Nadolny. Now, Stephanie Nadolny was forced to re-audition for her own role, which is a little weird, right? So here's what I've heard. I've heard that there's a tendency among Funimation employees to say, oh, that person's too old to do the voice, which I'm pretty sure, actually, I'm not familiar with Texas employment law in general, but I think age discrimination might be included. Maybe not. I think it might be, though. But they're saying, so what they may have used as an excuse to try and get Vic off of Broly was, well, he's getting up there in years, and Broly's a demanding role. We don't think his poor old vocal cords could take it, right? And then that didn't work. So what happens next? Oh my God. Not only are they casting him still, and there's probably going to be some more Broly voice roles coming up, right? Because there's going to be another movie, or there's going to be another series, and Broly's going to be incorporated into it. Not only that, but he's going to be a director, which means he's going to have casting decisions. We got to get him out. What do we got? Hey, Funimation, Care to comment? Hey, Toye, wouldn't it be embarrassing if your company was acting in violation of employment law, acting in violation likely of your license agreement, allowing their contracted voice actors to run roughshod over your IP, and most importantly, allowing a competitor that you don't license with to do it and to create this audio drama? I'm going to play it again. Y'all, I told you I was going to. Here you go. Prepare yourself for 5 minutes almost of Chris Sabat. And coming to you now, our main attraction. This of Monica Rial's complaint to Funimation is a dad joke about a jelly bean. And here she is at Funimation Studios on Funimation equipment with other Funimation employees and contractors listening in actively saying penis, hard-ons, rape corner, pole muncher, all of that stuff. It's all fake. It's all fake. They're lying, and they know they're lying. Why? Why are they lying about Vic? Why are they lying about their feigned offense? These are the real questions, but I think I know some of the answers. I have heard, again from a reliable source. Unfortunately, at this point, my sources have to remain anonymous because they work in an industry that ruins people's entire careers over a joke, right? If you're not the right person, what do? Why do you think my source can't reveal his name? I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that these people have knifed other people in their industry and are actively doing so when they don't fit in the clique. My source tells me that Vic was up for a director job. At Funimation, which would make him an employee, which would make him much more difficult to remove. A different source has told me that Sabat and Monica and maybe some other voice actors have tried to have Vic removed from Dragon Ball Super Broly unsuccessfully during casting. So, what happens? Let's paint the picture here. We want Vic Mignogna removed from Dragon Ball Super Broly because they don't want him to be a director, and by the way, we know Vic moved to Dallas. Now, Vic had been recording pretty much all of his stuff in his own studio in LA and sending it to Dallas, and they would mix it together. Recording on his own for a long time. Moves to Dallas something like 10 days before this happens. Why?